Hey everybody, I am back here to report the lottery statistics. It's been an exciting Grand Canyon January, to say the least. We've had two lotteries in the last 2 weeks, um, which feels different than normal. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Um, but nonetheless, I'm going to get into the data. So we'll start here. I'll click into this link to the data, which you can find by Googling Grand Canyon follow-up lottery statistics. So we'll be looking at the January 2nd data, and then we'll go into the January 11th data. So one thing just to look at here with this January 2nd data, this lottery was held January 2nd, 2018 for permits are as early as January 9th, 7 days away. And you can see no one applied for that permit. Kind of fascinating. So that'll be added to next year's launch. I think they'll have a couple days for that. So, or they'll allocate an extra day for that and carry it over into the next year, I believe. And so a quick tech tip for folks. If you're interested in January 9th, there'll be, instead of just one launch in the 2019 year, there'll be two launches since that one didn't get taken in the 2018 year. If someone who's watching this knows more about the system than I do, feel free to correct me on that, but I believe that's how it currently works. So you can see here, January 9th through February 22nd. So less than a 2-month window for planning your Grand Canyon trip. And you can see only less than 100 people, about 97 applicants applied for the 10 launch dates. And the further out the day was, the more applications. It just curves up really, really cleanly, and those the first 2 days in January only had 5 applications each. And I'm surprised no one applied for the 9th one, but that's what they did. So we'll look at it here in the spreadsheet, of course. And here we go. So we were just looking at number of applications listing this date, total chances, and the application that won's many chances. And so all I'm done in this spreadsheet is just added some formulas, which you can see here. And here's the launch date here in column A. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. So as I scroll over, you can see the number I think is the most accurate is if you take the average or median, really, of the application that one had this many chances. And so you see what the average app had in the data set, how many chances. And in this case, it was 4, right? We can see that's the median. The average was 3.2. So we can update this. Sorry, I'll put it at 3.2. Won't take me too long. And then we'll divide. We're dividing the total chances from all applications listing this date by that 3.2 to get our percentage value probability. So I'll just pull this down, and you can see I got some conditional formatting, and it shows like what we saw, that if the closer the trip is, especially if it's in the less than 2 week range, you actually have a really good chance of getting a permit. You don't have any time to plan your trip compared to when you can plan for dates a year out, which we'll see in the next lottery. But you do have a much better chance at winning a trip. Also, people often comment on my videos, or I should say posts, when I talk about the ethics of the system. Because of course, if you go commercially, you don't have to apply to a lottery. You just Google Grand Canyon rafting trip and book a trip. So you have absolute certainty of going that way. Anyway, this is a system for non-commercial users, and you can see that if you applied with a 16 permit party, you would, for these first few dates, you have an over 100% success rate. And again, we're just taking 80, which is 16 times 5. So you have the max possible. Everyone has 5 points, and dividing it by the this column I, where you have the total chances from all applications listing to this date. So this is a hypothetical max range of a permit party. Could you have a permit party of 100 people? Sure. Is that logical? No. So you can see that that's the way to maximize your probability in every lottery. And in this lottery, you could do pretty well. We compare this one to the last five, the other five that have been held for 2018 dates, and we can see that the win rate is actually higher than any other lottery. And of course, the main lottery typically always has the highest win rate because you have the most dates available. But I think because this one had, 10 permits within a less than 2 month time frame, so like basically 5-6 weeks out, you had a really high success rate in contrast to the other lotteries, which we'll go ahead and jump into. So we'll look at this one last time. Down here we got just your basic high school level statistics: average, mean, median, mode. Mode is the most common number in the data set. Median's the right in the middle, where like the also the most, I want to say it's the most common number as well. And then you have the max, which is the biggest number, and the min, the lowest number. So let's go ahead and look at the 11, 21, 2018 data. And actually, before I get too far into it, maybe I'll just end this video and I'll have just separate screencasts for each one of them. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.